Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, Money at Work.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 15th day of December 2021. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Remember to observe the rules of the road, and by so doing, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who have who's celebrating a birthday today, let's start with the birthdays. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. And again, I want to extend sincere condolences, special condolences to the family of the late Mr. Clarence Cuthbert Forbes. And of course, today there's a ceremony for him being held in New York, in Queens, New York, as well. So to his wife Joanne and his children and all of the family members here in Cayman as well as in the United States, again, our sincere, our deep condolences go out to you. For those of you who are ill, either at home or at a medical facility, we wish you a speedy recovery. Or if you are in isolation or in quarantine due to COVID-19, we hope and we trust that you will also end up with a negative test result, and that you will be able to again circulate and be able to meet with family and friends and do so in a safe manner as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. A beautiful... Nope. The radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. I won't say beautiful voice because you wouldn't refer to a male using that terminology. So, the radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. Those calls can be made by calling us on our toll-free number provided, courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. And you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. If you are following us on YouTube and live streaming, you will see in front of me, in the center of our desk or table here, you will see a beautiful Cayman hat made of thatch. A nice hat made of thatch. That hat belongs to none other than Dr. Steve McPhail, and I've been getting so many inquiries, Doc, as to when I'm going to have you back on the show. I pointed out to them you're a busy man. At one point, a few weeks ago, you were a little bit under the weather as well, but you're an extremely busy man. But I gave assurances that before the last show for the year that I would have you back in the studio, and it is great to have you here as well. I've been carrying that hat around. That was two of them, one for you, one for me, given to us by our good friend Alan Moore, also known as Haha, and we are proud to display a product of the Cayman Islands made by skillful and dexterous Caymanian hands. Doc, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. How are things?
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners and your friends in the Cayman diaspora and those who are listening to For the Record every morning, every Monday and Wednesday and Friday mornings. Good morning to you. Thank you for asking me to come back, and I'm so glad to be back. Yes, I was a little under the weather. I'm okay now. And I would also like to send my condolences to your friends Clarence in New York.
Yes.
I understand he died suddenly, or he was ill for a while.
Yeah, he was ill for a while, but unexpected, totally unexpected.
Yes, unexpected. Yes, I would like to send my condolences to them. I thought he would probably be back next year. I understand that he was trying to make arrangements to visit us again next year.
Yes. He enjoyed his trips.
Yes, and I would also like to send my greetings out to those people who has birthdays too, the same as you do.
Yes.
My birthday is in January coming up,
and mine is February.
Good, yes, it's good to be back with you. We always get together. Same to me. At the beginning of the year, we always here, and at the end of the year, we're always here. It doesn't matter what happened in between the other months that we're here. So thank you for asking me to come back, and I'm so happy to be back on your show.
Excellent. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share the COVID-19 report, the update that was received yesterday. And then there's so many things that, we can talk about. So many things. And, of course, we welcome our listeners and our viewers to join us in the conversation as well. So at 8 a.m. yesterday, the 14th of December, Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reported that 1,029 PCR tests had been conducted since 8 a.m. on Monday, the 13th of December. Public Health Department reported 47 positive results from those tests, 2 in travelers and 45 from the community. These results brought the number of active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands to 3,448 as of 8 a.m. yesterday, and the total number of cases recorded since the start of the pandemic stood at 8,007 as at the same time. There were 14 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in the Cayman Islands at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, the 14th of December. Public Health Department confirmed that up to 8 a.m. on Tuesday, the 14th of December, there had been 2,094 total positive lateral flow tests since the introduction of the lateral flow test program in the Cayman Islands, which are included in the totals that we gave before as well. So again, we see the numbers declining, but at the same time, the possibility of the Omicron variant being in the Cayman Islands. I had the opportunity yesterday to listen to Talk Today, and Dr. Hazel Brown was on there, and the question arose as to whether or not the Omicron variant is in the Cayman Islands. We're not aware of it yet, but there is always that possibility of it, being in the Cayman Islands as well. So, again, the challenges are still there. So far, we have gone through basically one wave, and it is quite possible that other waves may go through as well if we use as an example what has occurred in other countries as well. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller before we go to our break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my friend?
Very good, and a special good morning to Doc.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
It's very good. So good to hear you back on the air.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Trust me, the whole country has been praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want to thank the country too, and all the people.
Yeah, we missed you tremendously.
It's good to know that. It's good to know that I have friends, and that people care about you. That's the most important thing in your life. Mm-hmm. All the material things that you have mean nothing without friends and without people caring about you, because you could be rich as the richest person in Saudi Arabia, and you have no friends and you have no people care about you, and you're nothing. You have nothing.
Yep. I seen a video yesterday. It's in relation to the tornado in Kentucky. This man lost everything except his piano.
Wow.
And he played on his piano a gospel song. It was very, very touching.
Yes.
While he lost everything, he didn't lose hope in God. And that was the most important thing.
I think, caller, I got to thank you for that, because I think one of the most profound and significant thing is that you have to believe in your God. And if you don't believe in that, if you don't have that belief, if you don't have that strong faith, it doesn't matter what you have. You will continue to have turmoil in your life. You have to have that belief. That is the foundation. And I think that's some of the things that we have been losing here over the years, because as soon as economic growth started to come in, that became more important than the kind of people that we were, our spiritual life and our spiritual growth.
Yeah, Well, I want to take this time also to wish you all compliments of the season, and may you all live to see many, many more seasons.
Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you as well, caller. Thank you very much for that. Okay, folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, with Dr. Steve Macfield will continue after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Livingston Anderson, 1873-1944.
Captain Anderson was a well-known and successful ship owner and sea captain, one of the only black ship owners and master mariners in Cayman at the time. He owned the sloop Panama in the early 1900s and piled a regular cargo trade between Panama and San Blas Islands. He also raised cattle, ran a plantation, and raised horses for rental. He was well respected by all business owners in Cayman, a pioneer for black business ownership at the time when business ownership was heavily skewed along racial lines. He was married to the former Catherine L.V. Mackenzie, and the couple had 5 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Here we are gifted with presents, standing in a space denied many. In gratitude to the gift that Christmas is, this very, very special time of year, this time of reflection, celebration, fellowship, mindful of our blessings, mindful of the empty chairs, the precious spaces, the giving of gifts, sharing from steaming pots, making a difference to the many around us in need. Understanding this specialness, these Cayman Islands feel cool breeze, massaging silver thatched leaves, shimmering in moonlit night, December Cayman. Food, fellowship, worship, in awe of sunsets, the beach, the children. Rotary Club Central, where community service is our ethos. We serve to change lives. Wishing you a delightful, safe, and magical holiday season.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacist will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Dr. Steve Macfield. Doc, there's so many things for us to talk about, but I'm going to start this conversation and hopefully I can get through it. But this is going to be a prelude to what we want to talk about that's happening in the UK with this new human rights legislation that they're looking to introduce. Mm-hmm. So in this date in 1791, Bill of Rights was ratified. So in September of 1783, the United States officially gained its independence from Great Britain after signing the Treaty of Paris. And then the hard part began. Untethered from Britain's rule, Americans suddenly had to govern themselves. The young nation took a major step forward in 1788 by adopting the Constitution, but the foundation of the U.S. government was finally completed with the ratification of the Bill of Rights in December of 1791. Written by founding father James Madison, the Bill of Rights is made up of the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. It spells out pivotal protections as the right to free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, the right to bear arms, and the right to due process of law and a fair trial. For more than 2 centuries, the Bill of Rights has played a central role in forming the American ideal of a free society and guiding the nation's laws. Today, 27 amendments have shaped the original Constitution to fit modern times, and the Bill of Rights has proved influential in expressions of freedom around the world. So that was the U.S. adopting their Bill of Rights. And of course, we know that there were other moves that were made in relation from an international standpoint after World War II, as well as far as human rights are concerned. And I did share the one about Eleanor Roosevelt and her role in that a few shows ago. I served that. But I started this by wanting to go in terms of what is taking place in the UK, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to introduce that, Doc. Go right ahead.
First of all, the stuff you just read to your listeners there reinforces what Lord Sankey said many years ago, that the Constitution is a living tree, and it should be adopted, trimmed, adopted, and allowed, and branches allowed to grow or to be trimmed back when it's needed. And you can see from 1791, from 1788, when the U.S. Constitution was born, when America was born, there had been 27 amendments to their Constitution. And so it shows you that what Lord Sankey said many years ago, that the Constitution is a living tree. Now, what we have, what I want to share with your listeners this morning is that there are some real, I wouldn't say radical, some real deep, significant changes coming in the UK Parliament next year. After, I think it's a 3-year reform committee investigating the Human Rights Act in the UK Parliament has now published some of the reforms that will be coming to the Human Rights Act in the UK. The UK, because the UK Human Rights Act is only 20 years old. It was enacted in the UK 20 years ago. One of the profound and far-reaching reforms that are coming to the UK Human Rights Act is provisions to prevent foreign offenders, foreign criminals, from abusing the rules around the right to a family, the right to a family life. In the UK, and similar, in this happened in Cayman also some time ago, when criminals are convicted for criminal offenses and they have a family, they can challenge the deportation order in the UK by appealing the deportation order and claiming they have the right to a family life by relying on Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights, in which the courts have to apply it in the UK. The UK is now preventing foreign offenders from abusing those rules around the right to family life, and is going to prevent them from appealing a deportation order on the grounds of family life, because I understand it's something like 10,000 and more that they have now that they want to get rid of from in the UK, and they don't know how to do it because people are invoking Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights to prevent their deportation. Also, they are looking at freedom of speech, because although the UK has freedom of speech, it's not the same as in the US. In the UK, freedom of speech, I remember when I was going to school and doing defamation law, the professor always say, you publish and be damned. In other words, you publish and take your chances.
Okay.
So now they are going to revise the freedom of speech, because the UK Parliament is saying that not everything you say should be actionable. Not everything you say people should have a right to bring a libel or defamation action against you. They are also going to sharpen the powers of separation in the Human Rights Act. That is, they are going to make the UK Supreme Court supreme rather than Strasbourg Court. That's the European Convention Court.
Yes.
The ultimate judicial decider when it comes to interpreting the European Convention of Human Rights in the United Kingdom. It's going to be the UK courts to decide. They are, in other words, the UK court will not have to follow the European Convention, the European Court's case law. They will follow their own decisions, and they don't have to follow the UK case law. Those are some of the things that they are doing in the UK. But we also have a problem here also with the offenders, people who are convicted of criminal offense, challenging the deportation order either by the court or by the cabinet, by going to court and saying that they have the right to family life.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt you there, because what we're going to talk about, the implications of that and what is happening in the UK, whether or not this is something that we should be monitoring, whether or not we should be talking, with the UK discussing this to see where do we go or where can we go as far as our legislation and our constitution and our Bill of Rights here in the Cayman Islands. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation with Dr. Steve Macfield will continue, so please stay tuned.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
This nice Christmas at Foster's is back.
And bigger than ever.
You can win and give by purchasing any specially marked product in store.
There are over $30,000 in prizes and donations to give away, including our major prize of free groceries for a year. Plus, each winner will be able to give to a local charity.
For more info, go to fosters.ky.
Christmas is twice as nice this year when you can win and give at Foster's.
Thanks to Heinz, Kraft, Oscar Mayer, Philadelphia, L'Oreal, and Garnier. Promotion ends 23rd December 2021. TNCs at fosters.ky.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
Do you know how well your pension plan performed? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th June 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 8.56% and 36.86%, and our all-in expense ratio is 0.80%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
For today's biggest news,
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The National Security Council hits the streets. The group, which advises the governor on matters relating to internal security, undertook a field visit to the Cayman Islands Coast Guard Monday afternoon. In a Facebook post, His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper says the NSC received a briefing on progress being made to tackle maritime security threats. Lieutenant Commander Leo Anglin demonstrated the versatility of the new Protector boat, which significantly enhances Cayman's search and rescue capability, particularly at nighttime. Mr. Roper says he's proud the predominantly Caymanian Coast Guard continues to go, quote, from strength to strength. Government is hoping that 2022 will bring a boom for Cayman's struggling tourism sector, but one issue remains a real challenge.
We do have a strong demand to get to the destination, but as we move into the holiday period over the next 3 weeks, getting to the Cayman Islands, in truth, is a difficult task, finding an available seat.
Director of the Department of Tourism, Rosa Harris, told MPs in the House because Cayman opened its borders late in the winter season, international airlines haven't been able to return to Cayman right away. However, she says the resumption of service expected by WestJet tomorrow, additional Cayman Airways flights starting this month, and American Airlines resuming its Charlotte and Miami flights in February, travelers should find it easier to get here in the first quarter. She added that COVID-19 related travel protocols are also affecting visitor numbers. Ms. Harris says despite the challenges, the DOT does expect to attract about 40% of Cayman's average tourism arrivals next year. And one-day bulk waste pickup begins for Little Cayman residents tomorrow.
This is for the Little Cayman residents only. Little Cayman residents are reminded to place their bulk waste on the curbside ahead of the one-day collection schedule to ensure timely and effective collection. The bulk waste should be placed in an area that is easily accessible by the collection crews and does not obstruct the roadway.
Director of the Department of Environmental Health, Richard Sims, says the annual bulk waste collection on the sister islands is in partnership with the Public Works Department. Any items put out after the scheduled date will not be collected. Residents on Little Cayman can call 948-2321 for more information. In regional news, CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett stopped short of definitively supporting COVID-19 vaccine mandates across the region on Tuesday, opting instead to point out that governments have a right to protect their citizens. There has been strong evangelism for inoculation from respective heads of governments, the majority of whom have insisted that wide-scale vaccination is the only means of reining in the rampaging pandemic. A vigorous pushback has come from a wide cross-section of populations regionally, particularly in Jamaica, which is the vaccination laggard in the Caribbean with 19% of its population fully vaccinated. The Pan American Health Organization has indicated that 5 CARICOM countries, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Haiti, and Grenada, are in danger of not meeting the World Health Organization's target of having 40% of their population fully vaccinated by year-end. Barnett acknowledged that CARICOM could not influence a mandate across the boards, pointing to varying bits of legislation in each jurisdiction, but said while citizens have a constitutional right to refuse the vaccine, that posture had, quote, limitations. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Chris Barrow. Chancellor Olaf Scholz has called tackling climate change the biggest challenge for Germany in a century. Setting out his priorities in Parliament, the new Chancellor said the country would become carbon neutral by 2045, meaning it has to give up the fossil fuels it's relied upon for its prosperity. Mr. Scholz also promised Germany would defend itself against violent opponents of coronavirus vaccinations. Earlier, police in Saxony had carried out a series of raids over death threats to the state premier. Michael Kretschmer is said to have been targeted by anti-vaccination campaigners. The former South African President Jacob Zuma has been ordered back to prison after the High Court revoked his medical parole. He was jailed for contempt of court. Zuma's supporters say they'll block attempts to return him to jail, and his lawyers are appealing against the court decision. A Russian man has been given a life sentence for murdering a former Chechen rebel leader in Berlin 2 years ago. The judges ruled the man had been acting on orders from the Kremlin. The prosecution said he worked for the Russian Secret Service. The case has caused tension between Berlin and Moscow. And that's the latest BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We're a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. Chamber Pension has an all-in expense ratio of 0.80%, over 16,000 members, and US $463.6 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or request further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
FedEx Delivery. Share this season with everyone by shipping your rum cakes and gifts with 30% off and get an additional 20% on your next shipment. Visit us. Restrictions apply.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in Sportsmax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
Cash is a must this Christmas!
JN Money Cash Must Christmas.
Send or receive funds with the JN Money this holiday season to win big!
JN Money Cash Must Christmas.
Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at Pan American Life Insurance. Present temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east at 16 miles per hour. Wind gusts are similar. Relative humidity 73%. Last night's dew point was at 77. Barometric pressure now at 30.00 inches and dropping. Fresh northeasterly winds and rough seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system over the southeast United States strengthens and drifts over the western Atlantic Ocean. Our forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over the open waters. Then later this evening, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of late night showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be east to northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Again, small craft should continue to exercise caution over the open waters. We're going to be in a high tide at 8:23, a few minutes time from now. It's going to be lower at 2:32 this afternoon and high at 7:28 this evening. For tomorrow, it's going to be low at 2:02 a.m., high at 8:56 a.m., low at 3:02 p.m. and high at 7:51 p.m. Sunset this evening, 5:48. Sunrise for tomorrow at 6:52. And the outlook is for similar weather conditions through Friday evening. That's your latest weather right here on your Radio Cayman.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, have a deadline.
Procrastination is common in human nature. Setting a time to review the work helps to increase motivation because you know that you have to have it done by a certain time. This also ensures that you slow down to review progress. Consider rewards if things are going well. If things are not going as well as you would like, a deadline gives you a chance to pause and reflect on the current goal to see if there may be something getting in the way of being able to get it done.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at the traffic situation. Traffic still coming out of the eastern districts. A little bit of traffic heading towards the east and the Moon Bay area. As traffic continues to make its way into the Georgetown area, going through Savannah. A little bit of congestion going through the countryside area there. A little bit of traffic along that road. And continuing along to the east-west arterial Shamrock Road, traffic is slow, just getting past the roundabout and heading towards the Hurley's area. Traffic in that vicinity. If you're going through South Sound, traffic is moving good until getting to the Vela Apartments, where you'll meet up with some traffic as well. Traffic very heavy along if you're going towards the Linford Pearson Highway along Shamrock Road. It's very slow pace, stop and go in some instances. And expect some delays as you traverse along the Linford Pearson Highway, and similar along Crew Road. Got some major traffic there as well. Looking out from Jose's, traffic moving very slowly. And turning northwards as we're heading towards Shedden Road, traffic there as well. Most streets in Georgetown getting busy at the moment. Shedden Road, looking down at Godfrey Nixon Way, Butterfield Roundabout very busy as well in that area. And the Ashley Tibbetts Highway, traffic coming into the Georgetown area. Cayman Brack, a little Cayman, looking good at the moment. Of course, all this traffic dissipates as the morning progresses. Buckle up and stay safe. Once again, look out for people on foot, bicycles, motorbikes, scooters. Buckle up and stay safe, and don't be on your phone while driving. Don't want to get caught or get into an accident. Don't need that this time of the year. Stay safe, my friends. The traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for a limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
It's okay not to be okay. There's a lot to deal with right now. You may be feeling a bit scared, worried, or anxious. If you're feeling unable to cope or just want to talk to someone, please call the Mental Health Helpline at 1-800-534-6463, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Caring professionals are there to listen. For more information on COVID-19 and managing anxiety, visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to remind you our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us For the Record, one word, For the Record at CANDW.KY. WhatsApp us 925-3261. And if you don't want to talk with us at all, just simply follow us on YouTube, and you can do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So again, remind you that Dr. Steve Macphail is in the studio with me. We're talking about the Human Rights Act in the UK's Human Rights Act, and the UK government has unveiled proposals for reform of that act. Earlier, I was reminding my audience that sometime last week, I think it might have been last week, Friday, yes, December the 10th, 1948 was the date that, with a vote of 48-0, with 8 members abstaining, the United Nations formally adopted the most wide-sweeping declaration promoting human rights in world history. The declaration's chief architect, former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, watched as the fledgling UN, born from the wreckage of World War II, adopted the cornerstone of a more peaceful world. Roosevelt modeled the declaration after other famous expressions of freedom, including England's Magna Carta, the United States Declaration of Independence, and the French Declaration of the Rights of Man. The Declaration is a secular set of rights not bestowed by deity, king, or president. It's made up of 30 articles detailing freedoms inherent to every citizen of Earth. The document addressed past transgressions such as slavery, grappled with the post-war trauma, and even foresaw the civil rights movement that defined the coming decades. Even today, several of the rights outlined in the document, such as equal pay for equal work, have yet to be realized. The United Nations Declaration of Human Rights isn't an expression of how things are, but how they should be, and many of the world's inhabitants are hoping for its success. And it goes on to say that maybe that's why the United Nations Declaration remains the most translated document in history. So that's the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights, as well. So the UK now is taking another approach. We see their first move in terms of Brexit, and they're now starting to consolidate that move with other changes in as far as their legislation is concerned. So back over to you, Doc.
Yeah, so one of the other changes that they're making in the proposed reforms is also the right to a jury trial.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they are not going to do away with the right to a jury trial, but they are going to reform it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there had been talk in the UK for many, many years now about whether or not there have been two factions. There are one faction of people who want to do away with the jury trial, and when the factions say that there should be reforms.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the reforms are going to be, whether it's going to be on the certain cases you would be allowed to have a jury trial or not. But we have to wait and see about that, because the reforms that the analysis of the reforms that we have read doesn't go into any details about how they are going to reform the right to a jury trial.
Right.
So, we don't know. Some countries do not have jury trials, and some countries now want to limit jury trials. There was talk about that many years ago here by some commissioner of police who were not successful in the courts with so many cases, and he wanted to abolish jury trials in certain cases in the courts, in the Grand Court, and I think that didn't wash well.
So as it stands now in the Cayman Islands, you can opt for a trial. At what level can you opt for trial, by jury or by a judge sitting alone?
You can opt for a jury trial when you are charged with Class B offences or when you are charged with Class A offences. Class A offences can only be tried in the Grand Court.
Okay.
Class B offences can be tried in the Grand Court or the Summer Court.
Mm-hmm.
If you elect to be tried under a Class B charge, if you elect to be tried in the Grand Court, then you can opt for a jury trial, or you can opt for a judge alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you are charged with a Class A offences that can only be tried in the Grand Court, you can also either opt for have a jury trial, or you can have the option of being tried by a judge alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we have two choices here, depending on the charge. Now, the other offences are what we call Class C offences. Those offences can only be tried in the Summer Court, and of course, there's no jury trial in the Summer Court.
Right.
They're tried by magistrates.
Oh.
To reiterate again, if you're charged with Class B offences, you have an option. You can say I want to be tried by the magistrate, which you have no jury.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can say I want to be tried by the Grand Court, you can choose to have a jury trial, or you can be tried. You can be tried by a Grand Court judge alone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you're charged with a Class A offence that can only be tried in the Grand Court, you can opt to have a jury trial in the Grand Court, or you can opt to have it tried by a Grand Court judge alone.
Mm-hmm,
so those are the choices that you have in Cayman.
I'm going to divert a little bit and focus on you. We see in the United States where the skill and the importance of choosing juries can be so impactful on the results.
Yes.
You know whether or not you end up with a guilty verdict or a not guilty verdict. I know that you haven't really highlighted this, but in the past, in some instances, you have advised when it comes to jury selections. You have advised some bar QCs or whatever in that regard, based on your knowledge of the local environment. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes.
Without giving away too much?
Yeah, in the U.S., you have a large option with choosing jury.
Mm-hmm.
In the Cayman Islands, you have you have a very narrow options of choosing jury. For instance, you have 7 preemptive challenges, is what we call them, for the cause, and you have 7 preemptive charge. You have 7 with cause.
Okay.
If you know something about the jury that the person should not be on the jury,
mm-hmm.
then that's for cause. But if you just don't like the person, or you think that the person will not give you the verdict that you want, you can just challenge it. But you can only challenge 7 times without cause. In the United States, you can challenge for anything, and you can probably take you weeks to get a jury trial, because sometimes they have to answer questionnaires about their their background, about their affiliations, about their wealth, about their opinions, everything. We don't have that in our law.
Okay.
But there was a certain case that came about in which we decided that was something we should do. So we went to the judge and we said, listen, this looks like a political trial here. This looks like this is a very high-profile trial, and we have 180 jurors, and therefore we know that it's not in our law, but we would like you to give us some advice, some idea of whether or not you would like we would allow us to ask him some questions. And he thought about it and said he would give us his decision. So he came back a few days later and said he would. He agreed that what we said it was a high-profile political high-profile trial that had some political undertones, and he would let us ask each juror 6 questions. And so we sat down and we outlined the questions for the jurors, and because of that, we whittled the jurors down from 180 to about 28. And it's from those 28 jurors that then we chose the 7. Now, when I was doing that...
Now, was the other side, the prosecution, the Crown side, were they able to do the same as well, or they didn't participate in that?
It was only the defense that had the right to ask the questions of the jurors,
Okay.
So they were eliminated. The ones that the questions indicated that they would not have given a fair trial. And it was from the 28 then that we had to choose the jurors, which had 7 objections. Each side had 7 objections. The Crown had 7 and we had 7. Now, because of the nature of the case, they say that a person should be tried by a juror of their peers.
Right.
Because of the nature of the case, I decided that was not conducive to this case. You could not have. We would not have gotten a verdict, the verdict that we wanted, by having the juror of the pairs tried. So when we got the juror selected, it were people like gardeners, things like that, and people say, "Oh my goodness, what has happened here?" It's because the nature of the case, we knew that if we made the case very simple to those people, that they would have understood the case. But if we had chosen a juror of the pairs of the defendant, they were going to say, "No, we would not have done what the defendant did."
Yes, yeah.
Though under no circumstances we would have done that, what the defendant did, and so that's why we didn't do that. And so that was the first time in Cayman that I think that the jurors were allowed to answer questions to a questionnaire that they took home, and they were allowed to answer the questions.
Very interesting. Okay, we do have a caller on hold, but we need to take a commercial break. I'm going to ask that caller to hang in there. Quick commercial break. When we return, we will converse with you, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Increase your chances to win during the Rubis Pure Joy promotion. Don't miss Double Stamp Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jose's Rubis. Reflections offers you gas for less, and each time you fill up at Jose's Rubis, you're entered to win weekly prize giveaways, plus a grand prize of $20,000 in cash or up to $30,000 to pay next year's bills. Ensure that you are healthy and fit before you visit with family and friends. Reflections offers 2 lateral flow test kits for only $10. The best KN95 masks, $5 for 2. Stylish black surgical masks are only $5 for a pack of 10. Purchase Reflections gift certificates for your loved ones and enter to win the Rubis Pure Joy promotion at Jose's Rubis.
Merry Christmas from A.L. Thompson's. Are you caught in the rush of Christmas shopping? Find gifts for everyone on your list under one roof at A.L. Thompson's. Head to the outdoors to select gifts for outdoor living, like barbecue grills, smokers, coolers, kayaks, games, pool toys, and beach chairs. Pick up a hammock and a water fountain to create a restful rejuvenation area. Get gift cards in any denomination for those who seem to have everything. Nobody does Christmas like A.L. Thompson.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. It's my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Dr. Steve Macfield, and we are displaying his Cayman straw hat in the middle of the studio podium this morning as well, courtesy of Mr. Alan Moore, also known as Haha, crafted by the dexterous hands of a Caymanian as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, gents.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, not mad, and both of you?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Yes, we're fine.
Mr. Macfield, you were absolutely right. When you talk about, the U.S. system, you can be drawn out.
Yes.
And it's very easy here, as you know, at the empanelment of the jury.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your rejections there, and then you move on to the next selection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, as you know, it's very swift, and that's what sometimes our people need to understand, that we don't draw these matters. When you go to trial, you move on.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my 2 bits to add.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
caller.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, caller, for that, as well. Yeah. So under normal circumstances, the jury is in Cayman now. You get a pool of jurors, and the judge, the presiding judge, will question them as well.
The presiding judge could question them if the presiding judge has reasons to do so, but usually that doesn't happen. What will happen if when they're about to be sworn, when you impanel the number of jurors, then they have to be sworn. That is the time to challenge or to cause or without cause. A juror will say to a judge, a juror might say to a judge, Judge, I don't think that I could sit on this case because of this reason. Like I know the person, or I worked with them in an office, or I had some problems with them before, and the judge will decide whether or not that is relevant, or whether that is. He would decide whether that is relevant or whether that is significant enough to allow that juror to be unsworn, and not to take the oath, to take the oath.
Okay.
But that's for the judge to decide. Some jurors also may write a letter to the judge asking for exemption from the jury because of work, or because they have to travel, or because of illness and things like that. That's it. But usually in our system, the impaling of the jury is strictly between the two parties, the defense and the prosecution.
Okay, got you.
I had a case one time where a judge interfered with the impaling of the jurors, and I had to jump on him immediately, and it became not a pretty sight in court. Because I was the defendant, my client, the accused, say he didn't want many women on the jury. He wanted to get more men because he thought men would understand his case better than the women. Because he was charged with indecent assault of a woman.
Okay.
And he had a defense. His defense was that she had consented.
Okay.
So he figured that women would not understand his story. So when they had a lot of women on the jury on that panel, and when the jurors came and they came to be sworn, I objected, and the judge says to me, "Mr. McPhail, that looked like a pretty good juror," and I didn't say anything. I ignored him, and then when he come to the next juror was a woman, I said, "Objections," and he said, "Mr. McPhail, I think you're gender biased." And I jumped up and I says to him, "Sir, I don't think that you have the right to interfere in the people that I want to choose as to try this case, because you're not trying this case. They are trying this case, and you don't have the right to do that." And I says to him that, so he jumped on me right away. "This is my court," he said. "This is my court, and I want you to listen to me. And this is my court." And then I told him, I says, you don't have the right, and if you do it again, I'm going to ask you to recluse yourself. And then he tried to put me down in front of the jurors, you see, because he think that they did not understand what was going on. He tried to put me down as if I was wrong.
Yeah.
And so when I didn't say anything. I got my jury panel, and when I started my address to the jury, when I got the chance to speak to them, I told them, I says, what you saw happen this morning was a sort of an anomaly. It should not have happened. And I say, because in our system, in our court system here, and you see how the court is laid out here, on my right is the prosecution who presents the case to you, present the facts, and my duty is to defend my case beyond and the prosecution has to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, and my case is to defend my client up to the age of contempt. And I says, you are the ones who tries this case, not his lordship. I say his lordship is you see where he sits above there? So high he sits above the fray. I say he's the arbitrator. He sits above the fray. He's the one that will tell you what the law is, and you have to follow that. But if he says that he would refer to a fact in the case, or he preferred this fact, or he preferred this witness, you don't have to follow that. And I says to them, what I would ask you to do in this case, to use your good old Caymanian common sense. And he says, stop, Mr. McPhail, stop right there. I do not want you to say that in the court. There's not any such thing as good old Caymanian common sense. There's not such thing as good old Caymanian common sense, and I don't want you to say that again. So I thought about, how am I going to get around this now? So I says to the jury, I says, many of you have uncles and fathers and brothers and friends who have been captains. And I says, they went to Honduras and Nicaragua, Jamaica. They went all over the Caribbean and even went far as North America as captains, but they could not read and write. I said some of them said they only used a stick to navigate. They knew the waters, they knew the elements, they could take passengers and they could take freight from one place to the other. And I says, you know how they did it? When they couldn't write, they used good old Caymanian common sense. And I saw the jury smiling with me, and I knew I had my case won.
Wow, great. We have a couple of callers on hold. Let's grab a caller before we go to our next commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Conan. Good morning, Dr. Mack.
Good morning. How are you? Nice to hear your voice. Compliments of the season to you.
Same to you.
Thanks.
And I really enjoying the topic, law is my forte.
Yes.
I really like your story that you told where you decided that you thought it best for your client to put together a proposal where you could ask questions about the jurors for that trial to be fair, because I think sometimes some jurors feel, or some persons feel that, we end up kind of convicting perhaps more on feelings rather than on reasonable doubt.
Yes.
Or beyond a reasonable doubt, I should say. And I think that's sometimes where it can go wrong for a defendant, because if you consider a child rape case,
Yes.
And people feel strongly about rape, and then they feel even more strongly about it with a child.
Yes.
And so you want to make sure, you don't want to say that the child isn't truthful, but you want to make sure that the person you're sending away is the person that should be sent away. And so it's important that always that we have an opportunity to ensure that whoever we convict, we do so on that same basis that it's beyond a reasonable doubt
yes.
that they did commit the crime that they stand on trial for. And then we also like the fact that, you have for people the issue where they want that sympathy. And I'm not saying in a child rape case you want sympathy, but like the gentleman you spoke about, for example, sometimes it's provocation, and then some people overreact due to long-term provocation. And whilst you may look at what they did and you said, oh, how heinous a response to something simple, you don't know how long the provocation was on prior to that simple act causing that level of provocation. So there are lots of things that I think are important for jurors to understand as well, and that we go in with open minds. We ourselves recluse ourselves from listening to all of the hearsay and all of the rumor talk and all of what is published sometimes in the social media element, because that too can create somebody's belief of something before they even have the evidence before them to actually examine it and decide whether what has happened has happened. So I appreciate the topic this morning.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. All the best. Please stay safe as well. We do have another caller on hold. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will accommodate that caller, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointments.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
Ho, ho, ho! Hi, kids! Santa here! I'll be spreading holiday cheer for the whole family at Bayshore Mall this year, thanks to my friends at Kirk Freeport. From Monday the 20th December until Christmas Eve, I'll be in my grotto to meet the wonderful children of Cayman and handing out sweet treats to one and all. While you're there, Mom and Dad can take care of any remaining Christmas shopping and get entries into the Kirk Freeport's $40,000 sweepstakes. Visit KirkFreeport.com to find my schedule. Merry Christmas from Santa and everyone at Kirk Freeport.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
With Logic, you get more things you do want, like faster fiber internet, more TV, entertainment, and better customer service. And you get less of the things you don't want, like waiting, boredom, and disappointment. More of the good, less of the bad. It just makes sense. Or should I say, it's logical. See what I did there? Call us or go to logic.ky to find out how you could be getting way more of what's good.
Throughout the history of pageantry, we've seen strong women represent the Cayman Islands on the international stage. They have gone on to create their own businesses, serve in public office, and continue to give back to our islands. Today, we are looking for more Caymanian women like these, who are strong, intelligent, and wish to give back to our community. If you wish to take part in the Miss World Cayman Islands pageant and to go on to represent the Cayman Islands at the Miss World pageant in 2022, please contact MissWorldCayman@gmail.com. Application forms are also available at www.dmsbroadcasting.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I am very fine. Good morning to Dr. McField as well.
Good morning, Mr. Adams. How are you? I haven't heard from you for months now.
Yeah, well, usually I talk too long, so she cuts me off. So I figured let me take a little vacation. I don't want to agitate anything.
Yes.
However, you're discussing something this morning that has been discussed in the Cayman Islands since the 1960s.
Yes.
And that is the blocking of prescriptive unregistered rights of way that are dedicated. And a lot of tricks have been played with that by legislation. We even have the so-called NRA agreement in which certain developers, if they tell government to block a right-of-way, they went off and drafted laws trying to do that, which is a prescriptive right they were trying to deny the people of. And then they had amendments last year. They did amendments in 2017. Then that didn't quite do what they did. Then they wanted to do retroactive legislation amendments last year. And that never did reach a house. That's terrible, terrible action that they were trying to do to the Caymanian people. But now the Public Lands Commission, which has been created, nearly an afterthought to the Public Lands Commission, but it is in there, that they are supposed to look at public accesses and registered public accesses. Now, since about 2013, of course, following the theft of the West Bay Road, which was done under the guise of the NRA agreement, 4 right-of-ways in front of the Kimpton. No, sorry, 2 right-of-ways in front of the Kimpton, 1 in front of Royal Palms and 1 in front of Coral Caymanian, have been blocked by a developer. And now they're putting a notice in the paper. And it is an insult to the intelligence of the Cayman Islands people for the PLC or whoever else has done that must notify them of any blocked right-of-ways. in front of the Kimpton, those are two vehicular right-of-ways. When they stole the West Bay Road from us, they blocked one, that's the southern one, which is opposite the condos. The other one is at the end of Raleigh Key Road, which they blocked, because they blocked off Raleigh Key 3/4 of the way down Raleigh Key Road. So you no longer have vehicular access to the vehicular accesses, which are shown on the map. On top of that, the vehicular access at the end of Raleigh Key Road is now a commercial site for the renting of various motorized and non-motorized water sports equipment.
So you say these accesses are permanently blocked with structures.
With what?
With structures, building infrastructure.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, the two at Kimpton, Mr. Oti. Good question, sir. Good question. The two at the Kimpton were directly accessible from the stolen West Bay Road.
Okay.
And so that's where you went down there. But when the West Bay Road was stolen from us, then vehicles could no longer get to the vehicular accesses. And then that's the one in front of the condos. The one in front at the end of Raleigh Key Road, they just blocked it off with some bollards and some grass and pavers, and a vehicle can't drive there. If you remove the bollards, you can still drive there, but the bollards are in the ground.
Okay.
If I go and rip them up, then they're going to want to charge me for theft or damage. Like what happened to my dear brother when people put rocks in the road and posts and all that, and he goes to do it, and when the man attacks him and comes at him, instead of my brother being recognized in self-defense, when the man comes on his yard, they charge him with common assault. Anyway, we won't go there, right? That's Cayman. And but let's get back to the Kimpton now.
Okay.
So these two right-of-ways in front of the Kimpton, vehicular accesses, 12-foot right-of-ways, have been unlawfully blocked. And they applied to the Registrar of Lands to move the one in front of the condos and to move that one to north, which would be at the end of Raleigh Key Road, to make it a 24-foot right-of-way. But they've already blocked it. It was blocked already. Unlawfully blocked. But there's been no action against the people for unlawfully blocking them. Now, you talked about further down now by the Royal Palms and Coral Cayman. Planning gave permission to construct the building foundation, which happens to have a tunnel under it, because that's for the 100-story building that they say they're going to build when the population reaches 120,000 people.
Okay. We got about 2.5 minutes before I have to go to our 9 o'clock
I can
news.
hold on, sir. I can hold on.
Okay.
But I got things in the bank as regards the length of it, because I haven't called you for so long. Gotta have fun, Mr.
You got your point. You have your points, right? Your mileage.
Oh yeah. So the two now by Royal Palms, Coral Cayman, planning gave permission to build, but they cannot give permission to block.
Okay.
That was for the developer to sort out, but they went ahead. Matter of fact, if you look at the southern boundary of Royal Palms, you will see a right-of-way sign there. That's an illegal right-of-way sign erected by government, because on the map, it still shows a right-of-way on where was the north boundary of Royal Palms and the north boundary of Coral Cayman. Where they have the sign, that is not a legal right-of-way. And so, added to that, now you have the penal code. The penal code says if you don't enforce a law or you take an action that's penal code 121, to anybody who wants to look it up. If you take an action as a government officer and you don't have the law to do it, or if a law requires you to do something and you don't do it, or if you delay taking action on something that you should take action, then it's a violation of the lawful administration, and it's a 2-year prison sentence. No fine. No fine. Read 121. All these laws are being violated, and not one person is even going to court on that, even charged. The police won't even investigate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, caller, I'm going to interrupt you there because we're going to headline news if you want to hang in there.
Yes, sir. I'll wait for you.
Okay, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported 47 positive cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday. 45 of them were attributed to community spread. This brings the active number of cases to just under 3,500 as of 8 a.m. on Tuesday. 14 patients were in the hospital. The new virus variant Omicron is spreading across the globe at a, quote, unprecedented rate. Cases of the heavily mutated variant have been confirmed in 77 countries. But at a press conference, the World Health Organization chief said it was probably in many other countries that had yet to detect it. He said he was concerned that not enough was being done to tackle the variant. The head of the UK Health Security Agency, Jenny Harries, warns that the Omicron variant, quote, is probably the most significant threat since the pandemic began. COVID cases are set to surge past the previous peak seen at the start of 2021. Transport Secretary there says the government believes England's COVID measures, quote, will see us through to the new year. Over 18s in England can now book a booster appointment from 2 months after their second dose. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky. This week on The Flex.
Get ready for a good laugh. In the hot seat, once again, will be none other than Honorable Bernie Bush. He will be stopping by to give us the rundown on Christmas greetings from Cayman and upcoming events sponsored by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Want to say Bernie bringing rundown? Praise the Lord. My Christmas just got a lot merrier, and I'm not missing that.
No fool! He gonna bring ministry staff with him? During the second half of the show, we'll be joined by Caitlin Higgins, a member of YYGS, whatever that means. What you mean you don't know what it mean? It mean, yeah, you got sense?
If you don't know, tune in to find out.
You can join us this Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM. You can call us at 1-800-534-8255, or you can join us on YouTube Live. Youth Flex, the program for all people by young people. Youth Flex, more than talk. See you next time.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. We still have one caller on hold for before we went to the break. Caller, I just want to remind you that the other callers queued up behind you. So I'm going to ask you, even though you do have some accumulated time, I'm going to ask you to use some of it this morning rather than all of it, because we have persons queued up behind you.
I love you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I carry it forward into 2022?
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes, definitely, yes, yes.
Okay. Now, so then, when they applied for the Royal Palms Coral Caymanian to move the right of way, and really where they wanted to put on the south boundary at that location, and the other one at Kimpton, because the Registrar of Land said she couldn't do what they wanted her to do under the law the way it was written. So they went off then, and they were trying to get the government to change the law, and that's why they wanted to do retroactive legislation to take away Caymanians' rights and to take away prescriptive rights. And these are indefeasible rights that our government is trying to take from us. And this is common law, which is recognized internationally. That's not just within the British Commonwealth, which is, of course, the origin of common law, but it is so atrocious that this is what the previous government was trying to do us. So when they went to court, October the 28th, 2019, we got wind of it, and the afternoon before, we did an intervention because the Attorney General was not going to be there to fight for the Caymanian people. Our Attorney General, the one me and you paid, was not going to be there. This case was going to be heard in secret, in chambers. And we did an intervention. It took, and 15 months later, to February the 2nd of 21.
Okay, so tell us exactly where we're at today.
Yes.
Where are we now?
We went back to court. We went back to court on the 22nd of October, and certain things were supposed to happen then. Our job as interveners, in a way, officially came to an end at that point in time, because we only intervened because the government was failing.
So what was the decision of the court?
Well, just basically to tell them what they told them on February the 2nd. Number one, you violated the law. You did unlawful action. The court will decide the penalty for that. There has to be compensation for the unlawful act to those people that you denied them, and permanently denied them, tantamount to theft, because you intended to permanently deny them the rights to use those two right-of-ways. And then there has to be something for damages. Go talk to them. Okay. Then the developer has never talked, as far as we know. They never talked to us because nobody else was there. On the 2nd of February, she told the developer's lawyers, come and talk to us. They refused to do that.
So that was an order of the court?
Well, Mr. McPhee, that's another whole thing. The minute of order said one thing, and then, lo and behold, an order came out that it was nearly in total disagreement with the order, with the minute of order, and the minute, and another minute of order has never ever been written. But magically, some people have influence that go way beyond what you think in this country, and somehow they were able to do another order that differed from the minute of order.
Okay.
But this one takes too much time.
So in essence, then the court say that you should get together and you should find a remedy, and the remedy should be in compensation
and damages.
And damages. Well, that's what you need to do then.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but it takes two hands to clap.
Well,
and the other hand don't want to clap.
Well, you should go back to court and get it and get that rectified.
But you see, our difficulty with that is that up to now, is that the law, the way it's structured now, it is for the PLC to represent the public in matters of public right-of-ways. So unless we do an intervention again to say that the PLC and the Attorney General are not really representing the people of the Cayman Islands, because at one stage of the game, the Attorney General's chambers at a meeting that we attended with some members of the PLC, not a meeting of the PLC.
Yeah, so we don't want to get into all that, but what you need to do, you need to get your remedy realized. So you need to find a way either to get behind the court, or you should then bring them back to court for refusing to obey the court's order.
Okay. Caller, I'm going to ask you to leave us there, though. We have to...
That took kind of long.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of detail on this. But it's really a comedy show, what they're trying to do to steal from us.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
Serious comedy.
Thank you very much, caller.
God bless, sir.
Enjoy the holidays as well. Okay.
Dr. McPhee.
Thank you.
Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yes, special good morning to Dr. Buckfield. Nice to have you back, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Moxham. How are you?
Pretty good, man.
Yes.
Nice weather up here. Real nice, cool weather. I don't know how it is down there, but it's really nice up here.
Well, all you, if you want to keep in my good graces and be friends, send me one of those nice round dark pants.
Well, I would be stupid to send you one and not send you one. Yeah,
send us both.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that, man.
Sounds good.
Yes. Anyway, OC, I have a lot to talk about, but I don't want to make it as long as what the last caller did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, OC, you know, when it comes to these boards that is appointed by, I don't know who, to sit like on the planning board and this board and that board and every board that you can think of.
Mm-hmm. They're all political appointments, basically political appointments.
By cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay, by cabinet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if a politician do want somebody on a board, he can vote not to have them and get people to vote against that person?
Well, it's usually the other way around where recommendations are made.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Now, the governor, and they have encouraged that. As a matter of fact, I believe I see it advertised that you can send your resume and put your name forward to say that you're ready and willing to serve on statutory boards and submit that, as well, because they're seeking to not only have the political appointments, but to have
get a broad section of the community on boards. Yes,
and if you have the skill set, and if you have the time and willingness to do so, you can put your name forward as well. Now, whether or not they will choose it is another question.
Well, the board that takes care that anybody that can build a house or a hotel or what have you, that board is considered the planning board?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Now, when most of these places were built along Seven Mile Beach, as I see it, where the sea is coming to take the buildings away, instead of bringing the sand like how it used to do. Now, when you say that something slippery went on in those boards when those permits or documents were approved to build such and such a building along 7 Mile Beach, and
it depends on the period that you're talking about. There may have been a time when there may not have been any kind of setbacks whatsoever. We would have to look at the planning and development law when it came into effect and what it said. I would venture to say that in the probably up until the 60s and 70s, maybe, Doc, there was nothing there.
There was nothing much, and then you have to look and see whether or not the developers complied with their obligations under the planning law too, whether or not they applied with them, because sometimes they didn't comply with them, and then there was no enforcement.
Right.
Yeah, well, I would think something slippery went on with the boards, with the people that were on the boards and the government at the time, because it's no way or not that if you had 150 feet setback before you could from the beach. But now I understand that you have what you call the high water mark. Who is there to determine where is the high water mark? That is my question.
Mm-hmm.
Who can determine where is the high water mark? Where the water come sometime, or where the water come during the nor'wester, or how is that done?
Well, that is determined again by the politicians, and I won't call any names, but we know that the records are there, that the changes that were made in terms of the interpretation of what the high water mark was influenced by a politician in or legislative assembly.
And before that decision was made, the ownership of the property that's on the side of the beach went down to the vegetation line. You couldn't. That was where you owned before the high water mark, high and low water mark came into operation.
Yeah. Where the vegetation began.
Where the vegetation ends.
Oh, towards the sea.
Towards the sea.
I see. Oh, okay. Well, if you got coconut tree and they grow it near the water, I mean, that's vegetation.
No. I don't think just one tree would determine vegetation. And you know how we had the cocoa plum bushes and stuff like that were there. That's usually what was determined.
And before we had aerial survey, now that we know where the vegetation line is. Mm-hmm. Before we had aerial survey, people didn't follow that at all.
Yes. But I still think a new approach need to be done with the people that they appoint on these boards, because I think that is where a lot of mistakes have happened that we can't correct. Yeah. We cannot correct them. Mm-hmm. You know, and who will suffer is the generations to come, because they say, well, what the hell did these guys do? I mean, you know. They know that we on a small island to begin with. Every shoreline, just sometimes or the other, will gather some beach from the sea. That's no ifs or buts or ands or whatever. It will come there. Once the sea have a place to come, the sea will bring something with it every time. You know.
Okay. Well, I got to say that I think the premier and his ministers are trying to do as much as they can to rectify this situation, and I give them kudos to that, because we still need economic growth, but we still have to maintain an environmental balance, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
And caller, I would just share with you, as you know now. The cabinet of the Cayman Islands, well, this has been done, I think previous administration did the same thing as well, that they will post a summary of the decisions at the meeting of cabinet. So last week, I'm trying to make sure I got the date correct on this. Yes, this is for the 30th of November, 2021. Yeah. They approved the issuance of a coastal work permit offshore Block 23B parcel 269 Peace Bay for removal of existing concrete dock and refuse the issuance of a coastal work permit for Block 23B parcel 269 Peace Bay to construct a breakwater. So they refuse the application that was made to construct a breakwater. So if that is any indication of the approach that they're taking, that is a good one. So, it appears based on this, because we don't have all of the details, this is just a summary of the decision, but it appears as if the person wanted to demolish a concrete dock and as a result, and then replace that with a breakwater, and they refused the breakwater.
Okay. All right, OC.
Okay. Take care. Stay safe.
Okay.
And enjoy the holidays. Friday is the last day until next year, God's willing. Yes.
Okay, I get a dingo.
Okay. Take care, folks. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Dr. McFeel will continue, so please stay tuned.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Make your house into a home
Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
FedEx Delivery! Share this season with everyone by shipping your rum cakes and gifts with 30% off and get an additional 20% on your next shipment. Visit us. Restrictions apply.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
Paramount Carpet Cayman Brac Christmas sale is back for 2 days only, Friday, December 17th and Saturday, December 18th. Save big with up to 50% off select carpet and tiles, wall and floor tiles as low as $10 a box, universal mats from as low as $5 a pair, and up to 15% off many more items. Paramount Carpet Cayman Brac Christmas sale, Friday, December 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, December 18th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Followed by the Children's Christmas Party at Spot Bay Park from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Paramount Carpet Cayman Brac, located at 342 Spot Bay Road. Call 948-2665.
More than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, celebrating almost the end of 2021, Dr. Steve Macfield. We do have a caller, so Doc, I'm good. I was going to share something else with you, but after we finish with the calls, we will do that, and that has to do with we know that governments in the past, that is in the Cayman Islands, have been reluctant to use the compulsory acquisition, of land. But at the same time, depending on who the individual is, they will go ahead and put a wall, widen the road on a person's property and deal with them afterwards if that person doesn't have any either political or legal clout whatsoever. But those who have the political or the legal clout, then they have to tread lightly and treat them differently. But let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Mr. Connor, coming back to you something.
No problem at all. Don't apologize for that, my dear.
You noticed that the whole of that section where Dart has the Elizabeth Highway, that they haven't done any beautification, they haven't done any gardening, the place is overgrown, you can see trash. I'm just wondering why, because you see, one of the traditions we got in Cayman is you clean up your yard before Christmas. So if that is going to be the hallmark of the Cayman Islands, is Cayman Bay, and they drag everything down there and they removed it from the waterfront, what happened? I'm just curious because it's been on for a little while and I keep saying I'm going to say it, but real and truly, that looks disgraceful to me.
I heard that there may have been some dispute as to whose responsibility it was, and whatever the agreement was with the National Roads Authority when the road was constructed. That's what I'm hearing.
That's bad.
Because it's unlike Dart. It's unlike them not to maintain their property.
Yeah, but come on, man. For the Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Big people are supposed to be able to sit down, have a conversation, come to an agreement, and just do what we have to do. But I gotta say, it's disgraceful and it's shameful, and I think that somebody needs to look at that, because we shouldn't have people. We opened our borders, and we shouldn't have that drive of exhibits in that condition.
Yep.
Anyway, that was what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, and we'll keep talking about it, and maybe it'll get someone's ear and prick someone's conscience, and they'll go about doing something about it. So, Doc, Cabinet, this summary of Cabinet decisions was published by the Cabinet Office on Monday, the 13th of December.
I am so happy about that.
And
that makes my year.
And this was the meeting of the 20th of November. And of course, they publish. We know that there are some jurisdictions, for instance, where the someone from the Cabinet will have a press briefing, probably right after, a few days after, and give a verbal summary of what Cabinet has decided. We do it this way, and for various reasons. One, I would say, includes the fact that the minutes of Cabinet have to be ratified, so you want to be satisfied that all the decisions that are recorded and what is recorded, that they're all agreed to. Everyone is on the same page with those, as well as wanting to notify the parties that need to take certain actions in advance, so you wouldn't want them hearing about it in a press briefing or otherwise, or a press release.
Or by in a gazette.
Exactly. So what I said earlier was that some governments in the past have been reluctant to acquire property, personal property from others for the public good by compulsory acquisition. And I see one of the decisions here that was made on the 20th of November, that Cabinet approved the widening of the Linford-Pearson Highway and Bobby Thompson Way by authorizing the National Roads Authority to compulsorily acquire land by way of publication in the Cayman Islands Gazette and a local newspaper. So this Cabinet taking the bull by the horns, and saying we have to do what we have to do, come hell or high water.
Yes, that has been going on since 2001. And when I was a director of the National Roads Authority, I tried to get it solved. I was given the permission to go about lifting the injunction that was on that property from the old public works and certain people coming onto that property that was affiliated with public works from widening the road. I was chased off it by certain people because they said I had a conflict of interest.
Okay.
And the Auditor General. Then I went to see him, and he says, well, you wouldn't have a conflict of interest if you're working for your principal. It's when you work against your principal that you have a conflict of interest. But certain people put that out in the newspaper saying that I had a conflict of interest, and they chased me away from doing it. And then I heard several, I think it was last year or the year before, but it had been solved that they had to have an agreement and so forth, and the road would be finished. But I don't see why one person should be able to hold up a whole nation of people by their insistence on keeping their property when their property is actually needed for a public good. And every government that I know, every democratic government that I know, has the right to acquire property for under the principle of eminent domain for the public purpose. And what more public purpose could we think about by having a national highway that will have to go through a property, and you are able to stop the national highway and hold up traffic and have traffic jams and rush hour jams for years and years and years and years and get away with it. I don't understand that, but I'm so happy that this administration, these young men in Cabinet now has issued eminent domain order to acquire this property so that we can get on with the business of having traffic flow steadily in the mornings and in the afternoons.
Mm-hmm. You think there are likely to be any legal challenge?
Oh, definitely there would
be
legal challenges.
Could you foresee under what grounds? Would it be under constitutional grounds?
Yeah,
as well?
Be under constitutional grounds, but I don't think that will hold up in court.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it will hold up in court because it's so because the public use is so glaring that I don't think a court would say that you have to run away from the decision and the decision will not stand. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to talk a little bit about constitutional changes. So we're going to talk about Barbados and how Barbados has now appears to be the catalyst for some other countries in the Caribbean as far as transitioning to a republic, removing the Queen of England as the head of state as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record with Dr. Steve McField. We'll continue after this short commercial break.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of the following holiday hours at both its Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac offices. Friday, 24th December, office hours 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Cashier will close at 11 a.m. Office will reopen Wednesday, 29th December. On Friday, 31st December, office hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Cashiers will close at 11 a.m. and office will reopen on Tuesday, 4th January 2022. The board, management and staff of the Water Authority wishes its customers and the public a safe and healthy holiday season.
Cash is a must this Christmas. JN Money Cash Must Christmas. Send or receive funds with the JN Money this holiday season to win big. JN Money Cash Must Christmas.
Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Take the stress out of the hustle, bustle, and mask wearing to find your loved ones a Christmas gift this year. There is a better way. Give them a gift certificate for an enjoyable and relaxing experience at Villa Vanel in the beautiful island of Cayman Brac. Let them enjoy Christmas and bring in the new year at Villa Vanel. For gift certificates, contact reservations at villavanel.ky or call 926-7724. Gift certificates are valued for a year from the date of purchase. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Villa Vanel.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. So, Doc, Prime Minister Mia Mottley has shaken up things. She went to COP26, shook them up there. United Nations shook them up there. Yes. And she made good on her promise that this year, by the end of November, Barbados would move on to Republican status, and she has done that. Of course, we have there's a non-executive president, And there is always that choice between having an executive president and a non-executive president, like the United States that has an executive
president, yes.
President. But she has made that move. She's really proving herself to not only be a leader for Barbados,
but the world.
But, yes.
She's a world leader on the world stage.
Yeah. And of course, there's always already talk about her when she leaves politics being a future UN Secretary General as well.
Yes, that's what that's the talk right now.
Yeah.
Yes, that she's would be one of the candidates. Well, and Orrett, you touch a soft spot this morning, because I wish I knew that lady. When I looked at the ceremony on the radio early in the morning, when the British flag came down, and the president's Barbados standards went up, I felt it. She speaks with the language that ordinary people could understand, and that is one of her traits. I didn't know much about her until I started reading about her now. She's been in the legislature for now over 25, 30 years.
Yes.
And I heard nothing about her all during that time in the Caribbean politics about her. She's been the champion of the imposition of colonial rule for in Barbados for a long time. I just love the woman. I don't think that there are too many men in the Caribbean who has the cojones that she has, who has the impetus that she has, who has the understanding of the system that she has. In Jamaica now, there's a debate, and they have been debating this now for about 20 or 30 years. They have been debating this. Every different administration came debating it, and they can't get anywhere, because it seems to me that they do not want to leave the colonial system and go to any other system. They seem to allow they seems to allow the Constitution that someone gave them, and through an order in council by some men in England sitting in Parliament gave them. They seem to allow that.
Yeah.
Of course, I have to be so very careful with what I say, because I have been an advocate for the throw off and the throw out of colonial rule ever since I was a teenager. Ever since I was a teenager, it doesn't mean to say that I'm advocating for Cayman, because I have to make that quite clear about what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that I'm advocating for Cayman to go where Barbados is, because we have a long ways to go. Yes. We have a long ways to go. Yep. We have not even gotten what Barbados got in the 1950s and 60s. We have not even gotten there yet. But I think I can say without fair contradiction that these young people who are now elected shows that they can run a country. They don't need any oversight from some people living far away in Europe to tell them what to do and to show them what to do. I think that we have shown now that we can run our country ourselves. So the next step for us would be to get full internal self-government to run our own affairs. That's just the first step. That's just the first step. Much less to be independent, and then to get have independence for so many years, and then to become a republic. That's just the first step. And it seems to me that what she has done in Barbados now is like a ripple, like a tsunami going all over the Caribbean. Now there's talk in every one of the countries now who are not republics now of whether or not they should move to Republican status too.
Yeah, we have a few callers. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor and Mr. Matthew.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks. I don't know. I catch a little bit what I was saying about government taking people land if they don't want to give it up. Right?
We're talking about a particular case with the Linford Pearson Highway and Barbara Thompson Way. Yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna be talking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
When they were putting the road in East End, they send me papers to submit my claim. Right? They were supposed to take 15 feet by 284 feet off my land.
Okay.
But they're not taking 30 feet by 284.
Mm.
And when I went to claim for it, they tell me it make my land value more. Right? And I get a rate set for that. And that's not fair because I have to pay to drive on the same road.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my land that I had to pay land taxes on. Right? And I make a swear.
Was the road already there and they were just widening it? Or they were creating a road?
They were creating a road.
Okay.
Well, you see, sometimes if the public development enhances the value of your land, then compensation is not going to flow as if that was not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they
you get compensation if it's blighting your property, making your property less useful, less important. But if it's enhancing the value of your property, then the compensation is not going to be as much as it would have been.
But can that be questioned and challenged?
That can be challenged in court, of course.
Yeah, it only how that value my land more if I have it for sale. It don't benefit me at all if I'm keeping my property, right? When they were building this east and west interior, a lot of politicians running by land. What they want to do, they were going to clean back on it, right? But yet we, the poor people, they are telling us that value our land more. No, you take a lot that is almost halfway of my land they gone with.
Yeah.
So they not tell me value it more.
Well, if they put in, if they give you access that you didn't have before, and putting road in that you have access to your property you didn't have before, that's creating value.
I had 6 foot access, and I was contented. I never.
Well, 6 foot access would a 6 foot access to your property would not be as valuable as a 30-foot road.
But Mr. Markfield, I'm not building a house there. That's my grass piece and
for agriculture. Okay, yes.
Right. I'm not building, so that is of the picture.
Mm-hmm. So is this a recent occurrence?
Yeah, about 4 years now. Yeah, I've been back and forth, and I had to turn around and survey the land myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which they were supposed to survey too. You know.
But what you need to.
So why did they give me all this paper to fill out to claim on it, and knowing that it wasn't going to be nothing given on it then, Mr. Markfield?
Well, as far as I remember, I've left the NRA a long time now, but as far as I remember, you can wait, you can apply for compensation after the Section 3 notice goes out and the Gazette goes out that your land is going to be they're going to take your land for public domain. Or you can wait until after the development is finished to see, what damage they have done to your property to make the compensation. Then, which one did you?
They don't make it none of that, Mr. Mark.
Well, that's how it was when I was there.
So, are you still pursuing? Are you still pursuing it?
I give up on it.
Wow.
Because but I swear they're never gonna take nothing off no land I got again in life. I'm gonna die by that, And I hope those that in charge are hearing, because it's a lot of beach land is took from my family too on the beach when they put that wall there, right? Widen the wall, put the wall in East End, and none of them get compensated for it, But the rich people that come here, they compensate them before, I just want to add that.
Thank you.
Make them know we are dealt with unfairly at all times. Anybody can deal with us unfairly that does it.
Yep. There's a story that I was given, Dr. Mark Field, this morning about in Bermuda, where they have a commission of inquiry now about the historical loss of land by former slaves, black Bermudians, that were used for a golf course and to build a hotel, and the claim that the government made at that point in time was it was being done to enhance tourism, and that several hundred years later is being dealt with now. But caller, thank you very much for that. We're going to try to grab another call before we go to the commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Rossi. Good morning, Dr. Macfield.
Good morning, sir.
I heard you. It's always very, very good and enlightening conversation you've had. I just say something real quickly and then something else. At great risk. What happened to Caymanians? Let me say we, I'd like for us to say who we are, is that we've sold the country out, and many of those who did it, or some of those, are now national heroes to very wealthy investors or people, individuals, whatever. And we simply cannot afford to buy it back. So, in other words, we have lost control. I won't say any more on that. I guess you can pick between the lines and read between the lines. I'm glad what you're saying about explaining what Barbados has become. And one thing for us to remember is that we are very unique in the Caribbean. I cannot think of any other country in the Caribbean where the indigenous or generational people are a minority. It's mostly the other way around, particularly Barbados and Jamaica, all those places. So it makes a great difference.
Oh, yes.
Like that. We had the chance, as far as I'm concerned, 60 years ago. It's much too late now. That's my personal opinion. But I'm glad you explained, because many people seem to think it's something like the United States. This is a union, really, of countries with the same ideas, and then you have different governors being presidents of each state, and then there's a supreme president, as you said, executive. Well, the position of the governor general would be more or less the same as the president. I imagine would be a political appointment by a ruling power. Usually it's the ruling prime minister, who would still have the power in the country anyhow.
Or the legislature may elect the president.
So it's merely mostly for all together, but it's like something with Canada, Australia, and all the rest, and Jamaica with the Governor General being mostly a ceremonial type of thing. I just wonder, are they still a member of the Commonwealth?
Oh yes. They have remained a member of the Commonwealth. They're not changing that.
Okay.
But they would move out from under the Privy Council court.
They have done that
already. They've already done that.
They've already done that.
Out of that. They made that move earlier.
I just thought so.
Okay.
Yes, she is a lady that speaks with a common language. And you know, one of the great orators of all time, Sir Winston Churchill, he was like that. He used all his speeches, and the most powerful ones, it was in common, easy to understand and interpret language.
That's
and
right.
It carried great power with it when we think it was brilliant speeches.
Yep. Okay.
So there we have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Day, gentlemen.
You too,
Thank you.
sir, and enjoy the holidays as well.
Too.
We're going to take a last commercial break, folks. We do have a voice note that we want to play as well. Any other callers on hold? One caller on hold. We're going to make that caller the last caller as well. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the fear.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
At Tomlinson Furniture, we have great holiday deals to fill each room with presents for just $50 or less. Improve sleep, breathe easier, and relax your mind and body with an assortment of essential oils and pair with the perfect diffuser. Tap into your zen with meditation gold foil candles. Find standalone or pluggable fragrance warmers, wax melts in a range of scents, and reusable wax warmer liners, or opt for a wax melt gift set. Instantly freshen up any space with room and linen sprays. Find these great aromatic gift ideas for just $50 or less at Tomlinson Furniture. Happy holidays and a prosperous New Year to all, from the Tomlinson Furniture family to yours.
Study local and go far this spring. Want to start your bachelor's or associate degree, or just need a few classes to complete? Registration is now open for spring classes at UCCI. Scholarships are available for the spring semester, but you need to act now to meet the deadlines. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky to enroll now. Classes begin January 10th. Enroll by December 1st for a chance to win an iPad or a laptop.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Dollar Superbuys Babes to Teen have what you're looking for this Christmas season. Babes to Teens have beautiful Christmas dresses, everyday dresses, outfits, tops, rompers, jeans, underwear, and hair accessories, sandals, toys, fidget spinners, novelties, books, and don't forget the baby selection. And to make the Christmas season even jollier, Babes to Teens is offering up to 20% off clothing items. Save on all of your Christmas gifts from Dollar Superbuys Babes to Teens. Babes to Teens is located in Unit Number 8, Plaza Venetia, North Sound Way. Open 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Telephone 946-8157. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all our valued customers.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in Sportsmax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One caller on hold. Paul, we're going to take the caller, then the voice note, and then we can have Dr. Macfield do some closing comments as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
And welcome back, Dr. Steve.
Good morning, and thank you very much for welcoming me back.
Yes, we missed you.
Thank you.
But I know that you were busy.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, when you were talking about acquisition of land for widening roads and so on, it prompted me to call to say this, and perhaps neither one of you can answer me, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I hope that those who are concerned are listening. For many, many years, when they built the new post office up here in Savannah, I have been asking if they would provide us with a turning lane. There's no turning lane coming from east to that post office or to the Savannah School for that matter. Mm-hmm. And it is really a major accident, always waiting to happen when you're trying to access the post office or the school coming from east. And I've been asking, like I said, all the time to every minister that has come in, and nothing has been done. When I saw them working on the road there the last time that they were, that's what I thought they were doing. But in fact, what they were doing were actually closing off the little access that you could have to make that turn to go to the post office. So I was just wondering if anybody would take a look at that, because that is also necessary, and try to do something about that.
Yep, good point. Maybe I know that we're all concerned, and rightfully so, about space, green space, open space, and there's quite a bit of it in front of the gas station there, in between the gas station and Countryside shopping mall, and whether or not the road could be reconfigured in such a way that you could allow for that. I do also know that in speaking to a former minister who was a minister when the post office was being built, they were trying to get the agreement from the developers of Countryside to be able to access the post office from that area, and it was they could never get any agreement on that. That would have helped to a certain extent.
It actually, I agree with you. That would have been the perfect scenario. And since we're at the stage now where the government is willing to take the property if they need it, maybe that is something that they should consider, because at the very section there of Countryside that adjoins the post office, the back of the post office, they can still they can still do an access from that area into the post office.
Yep. Okay.
And it would be safer for everyone.
Yep.
Perhaps you should give a call to Mr. Howard at the NRA. He's in charge of the NRA, and bring it to his attention.
Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Okay. That wouldn't be Panduia.
Edward Howard. Edward Howard.
Edward Howard. He's the boss there. He's the head man at the NRA.
Yeah.
Okay. And Dr. Steve, if I could ask you one very quick question. At some stage, the Registrar of Lands and the Lands Survey upgraded their computer system, and it seems like the same thing that had happened at the hospital. When they did it, happened there, that the new information is not what came over. It defaulted to the old information. So in other words, if somebody had an old mailing address, that is what went over and not the new address. And now to update that, they're telling you have to sign a form and pay $50 to have it updated. Whereas, they should have, in my opinion, they should be doing it by default, because it wasn't the person's problem. It was their updated system that obviously didn't update.
Right.
So I don't know if, that is something that someone would be willing to look at.
You should bring it to the minister of who's in charge of that department. Bring it to their attention.
And who's that minister?
I think it's Minister Joey Ebanks.
Oh, okay. That's the one from North Side.
That's right, yes.
Well, I certainly hope I'll have better luck calling him and getting an answer or a response to a message, because that hasn't been the case with any of the other ministers or members that I've been trying to communicate with.
Okay. Caller, I want to thank you very much.
So
all the best.
And to you, Dr. Steve, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, and your family and all your friends and everyone.
Okay.
Thank you. Good health. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Paul, can we play that voice note now, please?
Compliments of the season, supernatural blessing, OC, to you and Mr. Maxfield and the old Cayman Island. I have a question for Mr. Maxfield, please, OC. Okay, I am living here for 31 years. I have my burial spot up Prospect. I got my British passport, and they're looking for me to turn juror in Jamaica. What do I tell them? I'm going to tell them the same thing that I tell you here. Amen? All right, love you, and I want to hear Mr. Maxfield answer, please.
So what was the question?
She's been living in the Cayman Islands for 30 years. She's naturalized British overseas territories citizen, but it seems as if they have summoned her in Jamaica to jury duty. And what does she tell them?
She should tell them that she's no longer Jamaican.
Residing here,
she's residing here now for 30 years. She's a resident in another country.
But what system would they be using to select jurors that if she's been here for 30 years, unless she's I don't even think that she would still be on the electoral rolls there.
She might still be carrying Jamaican citizenship.
And they may do it on the basis of citizenship.
They might be doing on their citizenship stuff instead of electoral roll. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how they select their jurors there, whether they're doing it on electoral roll or they do it on their on their registration of their people who are Jamaican citizens.
Okay. Well, if the caller is still listening, if she could provide us with any additional information that would help us to in terms of making any suggestions to her, we certainly would appreciate that. Doc, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments. And so far, it looks as if I only have one government department that's going to be coming on Friday. If it remains the same, I'm going to try to check that out as well, and I would be more than happy to have you here.
Yes, well, thank you.
But just in case we
just
don't,
in case,
yep.
I would like to say thank you very much for asking me. Thank you for Radio Cayman and all the people who produce your show. It's been a pleasure working with you all of this year, and I would like to say thank you for all, and a Merry Christmas and a very, very, very Merry Christmas and great holidays for all the people in Cayman and people in the Cayman diaspora and all the people who listen to you every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a pleasure sharing what I know with Caymanian people.
They appreciate it too.
And I want to thank them for their love. And my mantra is to admire. It's not to admire quietly. I tell people loud of what I think about them, and I sure to know this morning that they tell me what they think about me. I would also like to just shout out to the government for what they have been doing. It seems to me that that there are some people who in the country who still believe that they are, because they are rich and powerful and big, that they are the ones that are entitled. But this administration has shown that ordinary Cayman people are also entitled too. And I want to give them credence to that and wish them all the well for 2022.
Okay. All right. Doc, again, I want to thank you for, making this show For the Record so attractive by your presence being here as well. I want to wish you all the best. And I'll talk to you more, before the holidays as well. And I know you're going to proudly wear that straw hat, as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling, Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.